All right, Algebra 2 and Honors Algebra 2. This is your quiz review video for 7-1 to 7-4. So after this one, you have 3 videos, everything to get you through 7-1 to 7-4. Because of what's going on, I'm going to allow everyone, both classes, to have a cheat sheet for both quizzes and the test. So I'll let you know how to make that later, but right now just get these answers. Again, at the end of week 2, I'll let you know what sort of schedule we're going to have when we get back. All right. First page is pretty easy. State whether it represents exponential growth or decay, and then state the percentage growth or decay. The base is bigger than 1, then its growth. Move it over twice, that's 104.5%. Subtract from 100, the growth is 4.5%. Number 2, move it over twice, that's 97.5. Subtract from 100, that's a decay of 2.5%. Number 3, move it over twice. It's 101.5%. Subtract 100 from it, that's 1.5% growth. Number 4, 100 minus 80, 20% decay. 5, 120 minus 100 is 20% growth. 6, that's a decay, it's less than 1. 100 minus 90 is 10%. 7, moved over twice, that's 107. Subtract 100, that's 7% growth. And number 10, 105, subtract 100, that's 5% growth. Number 9, 107.5 minus 100 is 7.5% growth. Number 10, move it over twice, 100 minus 93, 7% growth. Move it over twice, 100 minus 98, 2 is a 1.8% decay. And lastly, move it over twice, that's 96.8. Subtracted from 100, that's 3.8% decay. So that whole bottom part was decay. All right, don't miss any of those when the time eventually comes. This next page, maybe the harder one. Again, get both to be the same base, both numbers. So 2 and 64 are 2 to some power. So that's not going to change at all. It's going to be 2 to the x plus 1. 64 is 2 to the 6th. The bases are the same, then the exponents must be equal. X plus 1 must be equal to 6. X equals 5. 81 is 3 to the 4th. X minus 1 is 4. X is 5. 8 is 2 to the 3rd. 32 is 2 to the 5th. Power to a power, you multiply the powers. That's 2 to the 3x plus 6. Equals 2 to the 5th. 3x plus 6 is 5. With the exponents, x is a negative 1/3. Get the exponents to be the same. So 27 is 3 to the 3rd. So 1 over 27 is 3 to the negative 3rd. So the bases are now the same. That means those two exponents must be equal. Set them to each other, equal to each other. 16 and 8 are both base 2. So this is 2 to the 4th. That's 2 to the 3rd. Remember, with 8, which is 2 to the 3rd, you're still squaring it. Okay, so this will be now 2 to the 6th. Multiply a power to a power, multiply them together. 4x minus 16. And then set the exponents equal to each other. 5.5, 11 over 2. All right, so 32 is 2 to the 5th. 4 is 2 squared. Multiply the powers together. 8 plus 2x. 5 minus 5x. If the bases are the same, the exponents must be equal. On 19, 5 is prime. 5 is not going to be broken down into a different base. So 125 is 5 to the 3rd. That's how you can help yourself out. So power to power, you multiply. That's 12 minus 3x. That power would equal that power. Set the powers equal to each other. All right. 20, 9 and 27 are both 3 to some power. 9 is 3 squared. 27 is 3 to the 3rd. That's 2x plus 4. 3x minus 3 as the exponents. 100 is 10 squared, so 10 to the negative 2nd is 1 over 100. 10 to the negative 2nd equals 10 to the x minus 4. 81 is 3 to the 4th. Multiply the powers together. 4x plus 12 equals 3 to the 2 minus x. The exponents have to be equal. So set them to equal to each other. 5 would be the common base we want there. If 5 squared is 25, then 5 to the negative second is 1 over 25. If the bases are the same, then the exponents must be equal. There we go. And concluding this sort of challenging page, 4 is good. 4 is good as a base because 4 is 4 to the third is 64. So 64 is 4 to the third. Power to power, multiply, 6x plus 3 is the new exponent, equals 4 to the x minus 3. Set those two exponents equal to each other. There you go. Write each exponential equation in logarithmic form. 4 is the base, so log base 4 of the answer 64 equals 3. Log base 2 of the answer 128 is 7. Log base 64 of the answer 4 is a third. Log base 3 of the answer 1/9 is a negative 2. Log base 3 of the answer 81 is 4. Log base 100 of the answer 10 is a half. Log base 4 of the answer 1/16 is negative 2. Log base 16 of the answer 2 is a quarter. Log base 4 of the answer 1024 is 5. Write each logarithmic equation in exponential form. 5 squared is 25. 6 to the negative second is 1 over 36. 7 squared is 49. 9 to the 1/2 is 3. 11 to the first is 11. 20 to the 0 is 1. 3 to the fourth is 81. 2 to the third is 8. 3 squared is 9. All right, next page, solve for x, just write what it says. That says 36 to the 1/2 power is equal to x. X would have to be 6. The next one, again, you're writing these all in exponential form. X to the 4th power would be 16. That number would have to be 2. This says 3 to the 3rd is x. X would have to be 27. This says 5 to the 3rd is x. X would have to be 125. That one says 8 to the 2/3 is x. Take the third root of 8, it's 2. 2 squared is 4. This next one says 5 to what power gives you 25? That power is 2. This one says 4 to the 3/2 equals x. Take the second root of 4, that's 2. 2 to the third is 8. 50 is 3 to the 5th equals x. 51 is x squared equals 32. X would be 4. X is not, so the base is never allowed to be negative. We don't say plus or minus with logs here. The base is always positive. 4 to what power gives you 1 over 64? If 4 to the 3rd is 64, then 4 to the negative 3rd is 1 over 64. 9 to the 1/2 is x. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 to the 4th is x. X would be 81. That is that page. All right. So on this next one, solve for x, log base 3, log base 3. Set them equal to each other. You don't have to check it because you're not, the ones we have to check where we are factored. If you plug 14 in there, you get log base 3 of 35, which is good. 16 to the 0.5 is equal to 3x minus 1. That's the square root of 16, which is 4, is 3x minus 1. 2 to the 4th is 2x minus 7. 5 squared equals x plus 1. Log base 10 of blank equals log base 10 of blank. Set them equal to each other. Get x is 16, plug 16 into both. Get log of 25. You type that in your calculator. There is no domain error. 2 to the 3rd equals 5x minus 7. All right. And then your last page, I just set them up. Oh no, I think I have answers. Yeah. Invest 25,000 in an account that will earn 9% each year. After 10 years, how much will we have? 1.09 is being raised to the 10th. They're going to multiply it by 25,000. Start working at ABC Corporation, making $40,000. Get a 4.5% raise for 10 straight years. After 10 straight raises, what's your salary? 1.04. Raise it to the 10th. Multiply by 40,000. There it is. City has 7,500 residents right now, and will average 1.5% growth for the next 20 years. What is their population in 20 years? 1.5% growth is a 101.5%. As a decimal, 1.015. Raise that to the 20th. Multiply it by 7,500. There you go. Now do change this. I want this 48 years later to represent 2020. So change that to 48 years later. So a 3% rate of inflation, $12,000 salary in 1972 is worth how much now, 48 years later? Inflation means a rise in price. So 3% rate of inflation means 103%. As a decimal, it's 1.03. Raise it to the 48th, multiply by 12,000, and it's that much today. All right, folks, this is your quiz review video, and I'll tell you when everything is due and when you'll be quizzed later next week. This is Yak Math Videos, signing out.